You walk into a meeting, you have something important to say, but before you finish your first sentence, someone cuts you off. You try to contribute to the conversation, but people glance past you as if your presence is optional. Meanwhile, another person in the same room says almost the same thing, and suddenly everyone pays attention, nodding, even taking notes. The difference is not intelligence, it is not rank, it is not even the quality of the idea. The difference is authority. Some people radiate it the moment they step into a room, and others struggle for years without it. Authority is not luck, it is a signal. And the good news is, it is a signal you can control. The reason people get dismissed or talked over is not because their ideas lack weight, but because their body and voice fail to broadcast the cues that the human brain instinctively associates with leadership. Authority is not negotiated, it is recognized, and your nervous system is either signaling it or leaking it every time you interact. The protocol we are installing today is immediate authority. It is how you switch on the exact signals that command respect without aggression and without unnecessary words. Let's start with the science. Humans are wired to scan for dominance and trust cues within milliseconds of interaction. This comes from the amygdala and the mirror neuron system, which constantly read body language and vocal tone to assess who holds power in the room. If your signals are weak, scattered, or submissive, people's brains categorize you as background. If your signals are strong, aligned, and calm, people's brains elevate you as a figure to pay attention to. The point is this: people are not consciously deciding whether to respect you. Their nervous system decides for them, and their behavior follows. So the only way to flip the script is to hack the signals their nervous system responds to. The first lever is posture. Most people think posture is about standing tall, but that is not enough. Authority posture means three things: verticality, stillness, and openness. Verticality is simple. Your spine must be straight, not stiff but extended, as if the crown of your head is being lifted by a string. Stillness means minimizing unnecessary movements. Every fidget, every bounce, every shift communicates nervous energy, which the brain translates as low rank. Leaders move less, but when they do move, it is deliberate. Openness means your chest and shoulders remain open to the room, not collapsed or guarded. A closed torso signals defensiveness, while an open torso signals confidence. When you combine verticality, stillness, and openness, you project a physical frame that other people's brains automatically associate with authority. The second lever is vocal tone. Respect is not about volume, it is about resonance and pace. Most people sabotage themselves by rushing their words, filling space with speed to avoid interruption. But authority speaks slowly with controlled pauses and with vocal depth. A slower pace signals certainty. Pauses signal that you expect others to wait for you. And depth comes from speaking from the diaphragm rather than the throat, creating resonance that cuts through noise. Here's a practical reset. Before entering a room, exhale fully and then speak your first sentence on a full breath from the diaphragm. That one adjustment can change how your voice lands. The third lever is eye contact. The trick is not to stare aggressively, but to anchor. When you speak, lock your gaze calmly on one person for a full sentence, then shift to another. Do not dart your eyes around the room like you are seeking permission. Anchored gaze communicates that you are holding the frame, not asking for it. A simple rule: speak to one person at a time, but include everyone by rotating. This makes people feel addressed without you scattering your attention. The fourth lever is entry. Authority begins the moment you enter the room, not the moment you speak. Most people rush in, trying not to disturb, and instantly signal low value. Instead, slow your entry. Walk in with measured pace, scan the room with calm awareness, and occupy space as if you belong there. You do not need to dominate, you need to project ownership of your presence. This primes the nervous systems around you to categorize you as significant before you even open your mouth. Now let's integrate these levers into the immediate authority protocol. Step 1. Before entering, run a physical reset. Stand tall, roll your shoulders back, exhale fully, and take one slow, grounded breath. This sets your nervous system into calm dominance. Step 2. Enter with pace and scanning. Walk in without rushing. Let your eyes move calmly across the room, and hold your body with stillness. This signals control. Step 3. When speaking, anchor your voice. Slow down, drop your tone into resonance, and use pauses like weapons. Each pause demands attention. Step 4. Use anchored gaze. Hold one person's eyes while finishing a thought, then shift deliberately. This makes your attention feel intentional and powerful. Step 5. Own your space. Whether sitting or standing, claim your physical territory with openness. Do not shrink, cross your arms tightly, or huddle around your phone. Space ownership signals rank. These steps executed together flip the authority switch instantly. And here is the key insight. You do not need to be the loudest, the smartest, or the most aggressive to command respect. You only need to align your signals with what human brains are wired to recognize as leadership. This protocol is the alignment. When you execute it, people will start pausing for you, listening longer, and granting you the attention you used to fight for. What you once begged for, you now command. Authority is not about dominating others or playing politics. It is about controlling your own nervous system so that others unconsciously register you as someone to follow. The fastest way to lose authority is to leak insecurity. Every time you fidget, over-explain, rush your words, or let your voice trail off, you are signaling to the primal brain of your audience that you are not in command. The immediate authority protocol stops those leaks and replaces them with high-value signals. Let me break down 3 advanced layers that will multiply the effect once you have the basics of posture, tone, gaze, and entry locked in. The first layer is compression of language. Leaders do not ramble. They deliver compressed statements with impact. A common mistake is overloading your sentences with qualifiers like, I think, maybe, or this might sound strange. These weaken the message. Authority compresses language to essentials. For example, instead of saying, I think we should maybe consider trying this approach, you say, this is the approach that gets us results. That is the difference between suggestion and command. The science behind it is simple. Compressed language demands less cognitive load for the listener, so their brain registers it as higher status. The second layer is silence mastery. People who lack authority fear silence and rush to fill every gap. But authority uses silence like a weapon. When you finish a point, let it hang for 2 or 3 seconds before moving on. The pause creates gravity, forcing people's brains to process your words with more weight. Neuroscience confirms that silence heightens focus because the brain treats it as a signal that something important just happened. So when you control silence, you control how much your words land. The third layer is gesture economy. When you do move, your gestures must be aligned, slow, and purposeful. A single deliberate hand movement that matches your words has more impact than a flood of random motions. Studies on mirror neurons show that the listener's brain actually simulates your gestures internally, making them feel your authority in their own body. Wild or scattered gestures create confusion. Precise gestures create alignment. The protocol is simple. Minimize movements, but when you use one, make it slow, open, and match to your key point. Now let's put it all together as a sequence you can execute in any high-stakes situation. Before you enter, you reset your posture and breath. You walk in with controlled pace and scanning eyes. You take your seat or your place in the room with openness, no hunching, no shrinking. When you speak, you slow down, drop your tone into resonance, and anchor your gaze. You compress your language, eliminate weak qualifiers, and speak in direct statements. You allow silence to hang after key points, and you back up critical statements with minimal deliberate gestures that reinforce, not dilute. This is the immediate authority protocol in action. The impact is instant. People stop interrupting because your signals tell their nervous system that interruption is not an option. They listen longer because your pace, pauses, and resonance demand attention. They perceive you as the one who holds the frame of the conversation, even if you say fewer words than anyone else. And here's the paradox. Authority is not about adding more effort, it is about removing the leaks. Most people fail to command respect not because they are missing some magical skill, but because they leak uncertainty through posture, tone, gaze, entry, language, silence, and gestures. The moment you stop leaking, you start leading. You will notice this most in small shifts. People will begin to turn their bodies towards you when you speak. They will pause longer before responding to you. They will unconsciously mirror your posture. These are all signs that their nervous system has recognized you as the authority in the room. And once that recognition is established, your words carry more weight, your presence generates more respect, and your influence compounds. Understand this clearly. Authority is not a personality trait, it is a protocol. Install it and you gain instant leverage in every conversation, every negotiation, every room you enter. Ignore it and you will keep fighting uphill battles to be heard. You now hold the immediate authority protocol. Use it to flip the power dynamic in your favor without aggression, without forcing, and without unnecessary words. Authority is not asked for, it is claimed through signals. Master those signals and you will no longer need to demand respect. You will command it by presence alone. And if you want to keep expanding your arsenal of high-performance codes like this, protocols that rewire your psychology, sharpen your communication, and multiply your influence, subscribe to Success Code. Every video delivers another tactical upgrade, another mental software install. Subscribe now, because the next protocol we release could be the one that transforms how every room reacts to you from this point forward.